For more on this, Rajiv Kumar Chaturvedi joins me now from Goa in India. He's a professor of ecology and climate change at the Birla Institute of Technology and Science. Thank you so much for your time. Are you surprised by the findings of the survey?
Yes, I'm quite surprised because the climate crisis, or for that matter, any environmental crisis that we are facing today, be it the biodiversity loss, be it ozone hole depletion, be it the ocean acidification, all these crises, in the heart of all these lies our consumption. So now we are living in Anthropocene, and in Anthropocene, largely the way like we consume our stuffs, especially in form of our homes. How do we build our homes? What do we stock inside our homes? How do we travel? Our travel related decisions, and what do we eat? How much do we waste? What kind of meat we eat? What is the proportion of meat we eat in our food? I think so. Lifestyle has a very big influence in the whole, like in the genesis of the not only the climate crisis, but almost all the environmental crises that the world is today. And I'm quite surprised by this survey that people are not. Yes.
So there were 10 countries where people were surveyed, and most of those countries are from the developed world. So that may also play a part in this. But how much of a responsibility do people in the developing world have in trying to combat climate change when their countries are the ones that have very low emissions, for example?
Of course, that's the problem with the climate change issue, that people who have contributed the least to the climate change problem, they are suffering the most in form of inclement weather events and climate extremes, etc., in terms of agricultural losses, etc. However, having said that, so what I feel that so this survey has been talking to the consumers directly, but a lot of responsibility also lies with the business houses, with the companies that produce the goods and the services. So at this COP meeting, we have seen a very good signal from the world leaders that they have given a signal for the net zero emissions sometime during the second, like after around 2050. Now, I think that signal should be taken by the businesses, and they should be able to offer opportunities and diversity of the goods and services that are being offered to the people, so that they can choose wisely. For example, if you ask a guy to choose between a car and a bicycle, both have different, so you can't say the person is not choosing bicycle, because there may be safety risks, there may be other comfortable related issues. So I think we must bring like appropriate technologies, appropriate business offerings on the table for the consumers to take appropriate decisions. And I think in this context, there's a new terminology that is gaining a lot of momentum, and that is the circular economy. So I think that's a very important revolution that is taking place, and I think that circular economy can help a lot in mitigating climate change and getting the climate change targets, as well as
Yeah.
without compromising the quality of life for the consumers.
So business and the circular economy, of course, having a big part to play. I just want to go back to that survey, because 55% of people polled say they don't have the information on how to make these changes to improve their lives and the planet as a whole. Does that type of education fall on the shoulders of governments to actually educate their populations about what to do?
Of course, like for example, we academicians, we have very clear idea about what is the cause of the problem. So I can tell you very clearly, we have built very sophisticated models, and I can tell you very clearly that much of the problem that from for emissions, or for that matter, we can link this with any of the environmental problem that the world is facing, is coming from our choices. about houses, the kind of houses we built. Today we are building houses with glass and concrete and iron and steel. So the kind of houses we built, the kind of stuffs we are stocking in those houses, the kind of travel decisions that we make, like whether we choose to travel in a public transport or whether we choose to travel in our own car, and then of course decisions related to wasting food, eating habits, etc. So there are a lot of information that is available with the academicians, with the scientific community, but I think unfortunately this information is not getting percolated down to the last mile connectivity to the people who matter on the street. So of course this is one of the very important responsibilities for the governments to start programs about telling these people about all these things. Yes.
And hopefully that is something that we will see happen. Rajiv Kumar Chaturvedi, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.